Hit it. Hey guys, Mr. and Mrs. Mr.
So I was talking with this one about silver and gold prices right now. I know some of you are celebrating $50 silver and $4,000 gold. It's a fucking shit show. You know, for those of you celebrating it, you have to think long and hard what it is that you guys are celebrating about. When it's so damn expensive, it limits the ability for a lot of dealers, a lot of refiners.
Transactions. Yeah.
Transactionally, it's a absolute friggin' nightmare. I sell on Whatnot and I sell on eBay. I'm not what you would say a big time dealer. I'm not that. But I have a lot of people that come in asking, hey, you got some silver eagles, blah, 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 this and that. And when silver hit, I would say probably close to $40 an ounce, I was out. I couldn't do it anymore. Because you have to understand there's a difference between what is traded on the COMEX, the paper contracts, that get this price of silver to that level, and the actual retail physical demand for it at shops. And sorry about the shaky camera where we're on
the back road, body like a back road.
2 miles an hour on this friggin' backwater road over here with traffic. But for those of you that have been stacking for a while, was able to capitalize on cheap silver, okay, the best part of the news is that you guys can cash out and make a shitload of money. But when it comes to the actual acquisition for retail sales, you guys don't understand that all dealers of all shapes and sizes, we don't make money selling
when the
PMs.
Price is up.
Especially when the price is up. And for the quick, rapid escalation of the price over the last 30 days, you guys have to understand, dealers are pivoting. Some of you aren't aware, refiners are pivoting to the rapid rise of the metals right now. And what do I mean by that? Let's start at the refiner. The refiner, for a lot of dealers, is their exit strategy. You people don't know that. You guys see it on a surface level type of deal. But this is going to have ramifications. The quicker and higher the price of all the precious metals moves in an upward fashion, things are going to happen. You guys need to know about this. So at the refiner level, the refiner, to a lot of dealers and a lot of other people that are looking to exit out of their position, the refiner is the end all. It's the end game. It is the exit strategy for a lot of people. And generally, you know, they pay on whatever the market commands and whatever it dictates. What I had found out today, because this is kind of a big deal, is that refiners, especially the one here in Northern California, maybe you guys have heard of it, Elemental is our refiner here in Sacramento. They are currently not buying any scrap silver or gold.
Why is that?
Because of the volatility of the price of silver and gold. Silver goes, let's take yesterday for example. Theoretically, we hit a new 10-year high or something like that. Silver got up to over $51 an ounce, and guess what? All in the same day, the same session, it also plummeted back down under 50. And I think it ended up being 49.22. You guys understand the volatility there?
So if they buy and then the price drops, then they're losing money, and they can't lose money.
Yeah, they have to put a pause. They have to put a pause on certain transactions. You know, God forbid they decide that they're not buying 90% silver. There's a lot of you stacking that stuff, myself included. There was a point in time about 2 weeks ago that our refiner was not buying 90% silver dimes, and
Wow.
that I believe is still ongoing.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's one of the least desirable 90% investables. Compared to quarters, halves, and things like that. And they're just having a hard time moving them. Now, Elemental, I'm not going to tell you that they melt their 90% dimes. They may or may not. But ultimately, when they make that kind of decision, they normally wholesale it out the way it is. Ideally, they don't want to melt the old silver that way.
So let's talk about when you buy silver, and if you were to sell silver on Whatnot or on eBay or whatever. So when people are stopping, when you've paid a certain price, and then people are willing to only pay up to, $35 for a silver round, what does that do for your bottom line? Does that allow you to make any money, or how does that work?
No, I lose all the way around. All right, because I still have a middleman I go to, whether it's a dealer or someplace else, to source silver.
Okay.
Or gold, It could be 90%. It could be generic bars or rounds. It could be Silver Eagles, Maples, Krugerrands, whatever the case may be. All right. I'm not a direct-to-dealer guy. I am still, because I don't own a brick and mortar, I buy from someone else.
Okay.
And then from there, I have to find out a way of, okay, well, there's been some demand because of the rapid rise of the prices of both metals, and then the other ones, palladium, platinum, rhodium, and all that. But people aren't conditioned to pay that kind of money for it. All right, people still are a little gun shy. If silver is $50 an ounce, and you go on Whatnot, and they're paying between $48 to $51 an ounce, and guess what, ladies and gents, I buy those rounds for $50 a piece, and then you have to take into consideration the fees for selling on platforms like eBay or on Whatnot. Now, this is considering that I am going out because I have no silver inventory to offer. If I'm going out there paying whatever today's price is, this is not including any sort of position that I have held that I had picked up 6 months ago when silver was $30 an ounce. That doesn't count, because we live in a world where everything is reactive. People are reactive. People react to sudden changes in the market, right?
Yeah.
Same way with the crypto world. Crypto world has no foundation as to why it's priced the way it is. It's like the Wild West of fucking investing, and that's the thing that drives me nuts, and that's the thing that keeps me away from actually dumping money into crypto, is that there's no no historical kind of like market data to suggest that one particular coin will perform better than the other. There's none of that yet.
It's all a guesstimate, right?
And then now we're entering the precious metals world, where people are under the belief that we have these incredibly large premiums. I'm a little salty about this.
Can you tell?
I am, because
can you tell he's?
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, people are rejoicing over expensive silver, but it's not. The transactional opportunities is very limited when it gets very expensive, both on the selling and buying end, and people do not realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to get to a point, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen, our silver and gold prices are still predicated on the price of the dollar. Silver is $50 US today, not any other model. We're still basing our precious metals value off of the US dollar. Guess what? The US dollar is toilet paper to me. It ain't nothing,
Are you rambling?
Well, I'm also making a lot of sense,
Sense?
Sense, yeah, because we're not making a lot of money, silver and gold, when you have to deal with it and people request it, folks don't understand from the dealer's standpoint. It's almost like pulling teeth when there's no margins, or if you're losing.
And how many times have you lost? Multiple times.
More than I could count.
Which is why we don't offer silver, or why he doesn't offer silver.
I do better on numismatic stuff because there's a little bit of a margin,
Yeah.
But all in all, so silver and gold is a crapshoot right now, You guys are probably going to be wondering, and some of you probably already know, how do coin dealers make it when they're selling gold and silver? And it's real simple. It's all volume based. How does a company like Atmex or Modern Coin Mart or, Pinehurst Coins, how do they make money? It's all in volume.
Yeah.
Smaller time dealers and individual sellers on these platforms, we don't have that kind of volume. And as long as the price of these metals continue to go up,
there's less of a margin for you.
Not only is there less of a margin, but there's more of a chance that you could drive yourself out of business.
Yeah.
So, all in all, that's what I wanted to share. I'm here in Northern California, and everybody's selling right now. I was at a couple dealers. Everybody's selling.
They're all selling.
I was probably the only stooge that was buying silver today at the dealers. But please do understand, if you're coming out a winner out of all this, congratulations. But also, good luck in how you're going to move it later. If you need an exit strategy, you might find that your options are limited, and always be on the line with the dealers that you trust to see what they're doing. Because there might be a day, what if silver hits $100 an ounce? People keep talking about it. What if it hits $100 an ounce? It doesn't necessarily mean that the dealers will buy it off of you,
Yeah, no.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that someone like me is going to end up buying more rounds and bars and things like that. Can you imagine paying $1,000 for a 10-ounce bar?
Wow.
When just a few months ago, you could have got a 10-ounce bar for $300.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's more difficult because again, we're not making nearly as much money as we used to, and for someone like me that's trying to source this stuff at the best possible price, it's becoming increasingly more difficult, if not impossible, to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't deal directly with the manufacturers. That you need a brick and mortar. You need a business, and oftentimes you need to sign a contract to spend X amount of dollars to get there, and I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are so volatile right now that it's
Hickory.
This is weird.
I know.
I don't even know where I'm at. We're in some random place, random neighborhood.
Oh my goodness.
But anyways, that's why I wanted to talk about. Sorry to blow your guys' ears off. I would love to hear what you guys think. My wife's doing as best as she can to kind of hold the
minimize the shaking, but we are on a bumpy road.
But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. All right. Again, some of you are going to have a different outlook compared to what I say, but I'm more on the dealer side and less on the investor collector side of things.
Wow.
So obviously, I'm going to have my opinions, and they're going to be a little bit different from yours.
Awesome.
All right. Well, you guys take care. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.